Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Hack the Movies Lost in Space 1998 commentary track. Right off the bat, we're hit with some exposition, and we have a not so good looking CG model of a space station. The 90s was a good time for spaceships. Fifth Element had some really good miniatures, Starship Troopers had really good miniatures. Even though Phantom Menace had some pretty good miniatures. There were a lot of good miniatures in the 90s. And then you have this movie where it's mostly CGI, at least in this scene, and it looks off. Like, look at the windows on that thing. The windows on that dome are just flickering in and out. Now, this looks like it could be a model. This doesn't look too bad. But yeah, the movie really starts off with a bang, literally, as you're about to see. Boom. So yeah, a little bit about my experience with Lost in Space. I was a big fan of the old show. My grandfather used to watch reruns of it. I mean, not super hardcore. I couldn't really tell you. It's been so long since I've seen it. But I always liked the adventure aspect of it. I know growing up I watched a lot of Star Trek, but I was too young to really appreciate it. Like, I just watched it when it was on. I didn't really know what was going on too much. But Lost in Space was a little easier for me to follow because I think it was more kid friendly. At least the episodes I watched. So yeah, I was real excited for Lost in Space, and then I found out about the movie, and of course, this is the '90s where everyone was just trying to remake everything bigger and better with cooler effects, and I was totally on board for that. '98 Godzilla, loved it at the time. And this also fits the trend that was going on where old TV shows were being remade, which I don't think ever really ended. For a while, it was going on. It was like all over the place. I'm trying to think. Flintstones got made into a movie. Beverly Hillbillies got made into a movie. There were a lot of old TV shows being made into movies back then. So yeah, Lost in Space, super pumped for it. Loved this movie when it came out. It is not aged well. And actually, a funny thing about the cockpits that they're in, the little control panel they have, that was used in a Backstreet Boys video. I was at a bowling alley the other day, and they were playing the All You People song, and the dude is legit in the cockpit for the Lost in Spaceship. It's just a weird control panel that I've never seen in a movie before, so I was able to recognize it. By the way, this guy's voice is hilarious. He's like a knockoff Tone Loc. I just wanted him to talk about the funky Cole Medina. Now this movie begins with one of the worst things about it, thinking Matt LeBlanc would be a good action star. This movie proved that that was not the case, and I don't think he was ever an action star ever again. His one-liners are so terrible, and he does them throughout the movie. But yeah, the reason I'm doing a commentary for this is because the new Lost in Space is out, the one for Netflix, and I really enjoyed that show. Now that show did a good job of having better effects, better camera work, better environments, but sticking true to like the original spirit of the show about a family lost in space, sense of adventure. I really like that show. It's not too heavy. Ugh. Oh, there was a little homophobic joke there. Back when you could still do that in your summer blockbuster. That was a horrible title sequence. You could barely see what it said. The city looks terrible. Again, this is like around the same time as Fifth Element, and it does not look as good. This looks awful too. Yeah, that kid's annoying also. Oh, here we have Maureen Robinson talking to the original Maureen Robinson, I'm pretty sure. So that's kind of cool, both Marines. I mean, this movie kind of predicted kids fucking around on mobile devices, probably more accurately than other movies did. Wow. She said monkey business, even though it's clearly an ape. That's very specious. She should know the difference between. I bet they all look alike to her. That fucking bigot, Maureen Robinson. Anyway, here's a. This is also kind of predicting, like some of the cameras are big, but then some of the cameras are really tiny, which, you know, is what's happening now. This is back when video cameras were still pretty big. And here we have William Hurt phoning in this entire performance. This is the same year as Dark City, one of the best sci-fi films of all time, where he did a pretty good job in that. But here he's just phoning it in. I want to know how they found out about Alpha Prime. Like, did they send a probe? How did they find out without a hyperdrive? Also, this one family was supposed to build a gate on the other side? How would they do that? A lot of space out there to get lost in. Get it because it's lost in space. Here, I think that's the original Don West. I'm not gonna lie, 8-year-old Tony was real into this Penny Robinson. I always liked the Penny character. Like, even the original show before it became the, and we'll talk about this later, the Dr. Smith, Will Robinson show. I always liked the stories with Penny. She would always find, like, weird little animals and shit. But yeah, this is 90s goth Penny. She's still cute today. But yeah, 8-year-old Tony was real into her. I also like this, her doing a little vlog on her mobile device, which again is like kids on their iPhones just documenting every single moment of their stupid fucking days. Oh my god, this kid's so all like she's a pretty good actress, even if she's kind of written to be annoying. But that kid is a horrible actor. Eh, I like this little foreshadowing here, using the awards as a cutting object. Comes back later in the film. This always bothered me. That ladder does not look sturdy at all. I don't know if that's based on a real thing. It just looks real wobbly. Also, those are just shower curtains on the window. They were so obviously shower curtains. I'm not really into the production design on when it comes to anything on Earth. Like, look at that fucking guy wearing like the motorcycle armor with lights in it. There was a dude floating in a chair. The production design on Earth is all over the fucking place. I'm gonna look who did the production design. Norman Garwood? Let me see. Whatever. I don't feel like looking it up. I should have looked it up before. I think this was something from the show where Don West and John Robinson didn't get along too well. I think in the original show. I tried to watch a few episodes beforehand. I couldn't find good episodes streaming. Hmm. I wish I knew more about this global sedition. Are they aliens? Are they mutants? They never really explain it. I know in the original, like, Smith was hired by some foreign organization. I forget what it was, or if they even ever mentioned it. I do kind of like the new Lost in Space, where Smith doesn't sabotage the ship. Really, sir. You just know he's gonna say sir. He's so terrible. He's good as like a funny guy, but he's terrible in this. But again, 8-year-old Tony probably thought this was like the best movie ever made. Because I was 8 and it had spaceships. Oh, this is great. Fucking the original Dr. Smith was supposed to be in this scene. And he decided no. He said I'll never do a walk-on role. I have to be starring or whatever. He didn't want anyone else to play Dr. Smith. Which is actually good because Gary Oldman, like, on paper, that's a great idea for Dr. Smith, and he does do a pretty decent job. But there's some parts where he's just acting so gay. It almost comes off as offensive. And if we were in front of like the actual Dr. Smith who was gay, I just feel like he'd be like, "Are you making fun of me? What the fuck is this?" Ugh. So yeah, he's gonna work for the global sedition because they're gonna give him money. It is funny to see him as like Dracula and the professional when he's really really menacing, and then here it's hard to take him seriously. I like the Jupiter 1 here, which I don't know why there's two Jupiters built in with each other. Looks like the original Jupiter 2 from the show. Of course, it's like a casing that explodes. Production design inside the ship looks a little bit better. There's all these like circles and ovals and curved angles that I kind of like. The control panels are pretty cool. The chairs look a little too alien, but what are you gonna do? Here we go. We got Heather Graham. This is around Boogie Nights, I think. So she was still up and coming. This is probably the first thing I saw her in until Spy Who Shagged Me. I like this. Like he has no idea that that's his daughter. Oh, it was you? Okay, we found out your grandfather was a great war hero. So you just said your grandfather can't think. Good job. Oh, that's great. How did he not know? Did they not tell him about that? He should have just assumed that was her. Ugh, what an idiot. Oh, another one-liner. That was weird. I didn't get that transition at all. He called her, but then he's also walking. He could have just cut that whole transition. This is more foreshadowing the time machine that works with bubbles. Bubbles make time, apparently. If he can't get it to work, why did he win first prize? He made a bubbler. Whoa, whoa. So in 2058, they're still using words like midgets? Fucking John Robinson, not progressive, not the person that I want leading the future of civilization. Civilization. He's very not. God damn it! I stuttered on that fucking joke. I'm leaving that in. Yeah, the dad's really letting his family go to shit. They do it a little bit better in the new show, where they almost like straight up divorce. She's about to take the kids by herself. But it adds to some tension there. Here is just there's a little bit of tension here, and then it goes away as soon as they start the mission. It's like, oh, okay. Oh wait, what happened to his outfit? He was wearing like this futuristic black outfit. Now he's just wearing like a fucking hoodie, looking like a total dad. What happened to his future outfit? Music's pretty good in this movie. Look up who did the music. He's in a little box. Bruce Broughton did the music. Not familiar with a lot of his stuff. I'm seeing Jag, a bunch of TV shows. 30 Rock, yeah, not a lot that I'm familiar with. So yeah, Dr. Smith is a little bit more menacing in this. The first season of the old show, he was supposed to be like a straight up bad guy. Then eventually he became the bumbling, mischievous old man who was kind of like accidentally fucking things up. I like how this movie goes back to his like evil origins. They overdo it because he calls himself evil a few times. I like they brought the original voice actor back to be the robot because that's the one character who could come back in the role because it's just a voice. It doesn't fit with the new tone and style of this film. The voice is super outdated, but I appreciate it. As a kid who liked the old show, it was cool hearing his voice in the new movie. Also, does no one before the ship takes off? Did no one power up the robot and be like, "Hey, give us your protocol, your mission. We want to make sure you're working." And then the robot would have been like, "I'm gonna kill everyone." And they'd be like, "Oh, we gotta cancel this mission." I don't get. I get the global sedition wanting to double trace him, but why here? Why on the ship? Like, why not when he's off the ship kill him? What if he had survived this and left? You don't know. There's too many. There's too many variables you didn't account for. Global sedition. Also, who are you? Why are some of you mutants and some of you normal looking people? I like these suits. I remember seeing the poster for this movie and be like, whoa, those suits look so cool. Even though Matt LeBlanc looks kind of heavy in his. So they're not going to age for 10 years? That's a little strange. That's got to fuck them up mentally. Ugh, not good. Not good. Oh, God, it looks awful. The city kind of looks like Batman Forever. And Judge Dredd. Ugh. Nah, Judge Dredd even looked better than this. Their suits kind of look like Shaquille O'Neal's steel. Remember that? It's supposed to be a metal suit, but it ended up being more rubbery looking. See, now these are miniatures. These look good. What? What? Now, of all the times he's going to do this? In front of her parents again? This guy's a fucking sexual predator. The dad should be like, hey, dude, I can hear you. Yeah, it's funny looking at this CGI. It doesn't quite match up with them too much. Again, good for the time, but you kind of see it's like hovering over their bodies. I think this one's the most obvious. Like, yeah, it's not quite on her face. Who's this? Who's this beefcake on the fucking remote control on the microphone? No, more one-liners. But I remember getting excited at this part in the theater. I'm like, yeah, the Jupiter. It's flying. I like the Jupiter. Oh, awful. Looks like a PlayStation 1 cutscene. And then, of course, for some reason, they needed that to go through the atmosphere, and now we get the Jupiter 2. And the Jupiter 2 looks as good as the Jupiter 1. This is when holograms are starting to get a little bit bigger in movies. I know Star Wars kind of popularized them. They were in a bunch of movies. But I feel like we slowly started getting more and more holograms in films as the years went on, and now it's just holograms everywhere. Is that your friend? Who is that? Yeah, look, it's not quite matching up with his face. I did like that cut there. There was a subtle cut there because these are all I'm assuming these are all dummies. You could kind of see the screen like shift just a little bit during that transition. Almost seamless. These days it would have been 100% seamless, but back then it was good enough. Ugh. I like that. You're expecting him to say something real Dr. Smithy. Like drats and blah blah blah. Oh no, he always said something quippy. Instead he just goes shit. I like that the robot has to keep repeating what it has to do. The robot looks really good. I mean, it looks nothing like the original robot, which it probably shouldn't have. Although they get closer to it later. But no, I remember thinking it was really. I always wanted the action figure. It was really cool with the three fingers that shoot electricity and shit. I thought it was badass looking robot, and it's mostly a practical effect, which is really cool. And I like the new Lost in Space, the robot alien, whatever it is. It does have like a blue tint to it, which may or may not be a callback to this. Why did he punch it? He didn't have to punch it. Wait. Why? Why does the robot do wisecracks? I know it did like wisecracks in the old show, but it's just weird to see it doing it in this. Oh, there he is. There's Matt LeBlanc. what a what a hero. Also, the robot can't get him off his back. I feel like that's something it should be able to do. Oh, I think you can see the track that the robot went down. Hmm. Wait, what? What does this have to do with the science fair? Oh my god, that one liner didn't make sense either. Who wrote this fucking thing? Writing credits. Erwin. Oh, Akiva Goldsman. That makes fucking sense. This is high off of the Batman and Robin one-liners. I feel like this should be a hover chair like the ones we saw earlier, but they were like, we don't want to learn how to delete the pole. It's just a chair on a pole. Fuck it. Yeah. Did they know each other? I feel like we should have had a scene with Smith and the family and the mission beforehand. That's a pretty good situation to keep Smith around. Like, oh well, the only doctor we have is frozen, so you're the only other one. By the way, again, I know this happened in the original pilot, so they wanted to like redo it. But if you're gonna sabotage the robot, just sabotage it to fuck up the controls. Just be like, all right, flying into the sun. Don't go around just shooting everything. I don't know. I just think that's makes more sense. I like the hover gurney. Oh, the precious. This is like modern feminism. You can't say that anymore. This were today, Penny would be lecturing him until her sister died. What? This is kind of cool. I remember thinking this was neat. I'm like, whoa, it's like a cool X-ray. They're shooting her heart with a laser. By the way, they should be incinerated by now. I think maybe there's some sciencey reason for it, but they should be completely shattered. Not shattered, just obliterated. The heat should be melting them right now. It looks green screened in the shot. Maybe it's just the digital coloring and lighting. What a really good control panel. It's shaking like it's cardboard. Probably because it was, but it shouldn't look like that in a big budget movie. Yeah, there's no way they could be that close to the sun and still be existing. I feel like you're dead both ways, so why not? Ugh, it's just it looks so bad. That kid looks so awkward in that suit. Here's the obligatory Matrix bullet time. You had to have that in every single movie. Although it doesn't look that good in this one. They're like barely. they're barely where they should be. I do like that when the portal opens, some of the fire from the sun follows them. That's kind of cool. I like that where she's like kind of shooken up but trying to stay strong for the mission. This is where they should kill Dr. Smith right away. Have Don West do it. Throw him out the goddamn airlock. Don West kills people all the time. We saw it in the movie. There's no need for this character. He'll be of no benefit. You already have a doctor. Yeah, that's a line that you put in the trailer. I'll give them credit. They never say Lost in Space. I think the new show might have done that. Ugh. Tattoo removal hasn't advanced much in the future. If anything, it looks worse. So they're obviously going to get together because they're the only two single people on the ship of consenting age and who aren't related. This is interesting how they try to work in the original robot design. You're like 2 years older than him. Relax. The Civilite, he's a danger to the whole fucking mission. Launch him out into space. Oh no, a bubble. Maybe don't fly into the bubble. No, maybe don't do that. Oh my god, what an idiot. I know they're doing like the reckless bad boy thing, but it's just so poor in this movie. Now, this looks like another miniature. I think. Or at least most of it is. I don't know. This one doesn't look too bad. Proteus is a name of a direct-to-video movie about killer shark octopus things. It's so fucking cool, or it was cool when I saw it when I was a kid. Probably not that cool anymore. I like that alien ship too. They never go to that alien ship because I would like to know, like, spoiler alert, you find spiders, and it's like, are the spiders, are they in charge of the ship? Did another alien race bring them? What? God, shut up, dude. Was she green screened into that other shot? Why does everything behind her look yellow? It's a little creepy. Yeah, why is everything but yellow behind her? I don't get it. Is that an Instagram filter? Also, don't leave the doctor locked up in the fucking medical bay. He's gonna destroy all your shit. That's a Star Trek parody. I'm a doctor, not a this. Just shoot him. Yeah, hey, Will, maybe don't do that. There's no way to just reboot the robot. You had to hack into it. What is? I like his little metal suit under. We see it later. I kind of want to see what the rest of that metal suit looked like. You just said he's remote controlled. He has no like brain functions. Why would you say okay, robot? Oh, shut the fuck up, Dr. Smith. That's the smell of ghosts. Boo. That was like some pre-Iron Man shit. Also, wait, where does the glass go when it shrinks? I could buy everything else, but the glass can't just shrink and bend like that. I don't understand. I like these as much as I was shitting on the design earlier. At least it just reminds me when movies had sets. You don't get a lot of like sets anymore. The drip, drip, drip of blood. Oh, Jesus Christ. He does need to shut up. You both need to shut up. So he admits to being evil. It's not really a good bad guy. Usually bad guys have this warped sense where they're the good guy. I don't know. Maybe it's just me. I kind of like that because this spoiler, this ship's from the future, so you get to see like an update of the robot's design. Like, why are they acting like the robot still has a brain? It's just Will. I don't think that's how video files work, but okay. Tone Loc is back. So they sent another ship out into space to look for Don instead of just sending another ship to another planet. Feels like a waste of resources. No data on the alien ship. Oh, I guess the humans' data. I was like, how can you find the data on the alien ship? You can't read it. It's an alien ship. He's so obviously the bad guy. Check him. Check him right now. This I thought was cool too because I'm a big Aliens fan. This is like around Starship Troopers, so space bugs. You want to get me into a series? Show me space bugs. I'm on board. Also like this, the idea of like in-house garden. There's another movie like that. Oh man, what was that show? There was like a show or a movie about a guy with two little robots, and I think he had like a big garden inside of his spaceship. It's been done a lot, but that's a Dr. Smithy thing to say. And then here's an idea that was better on paper, and they should have just scrapped because they didn't have the effects for it. Ugh. Blarp. The original Lost in Space had a monkey called Bloop or the Bloop. So I guess their version is Blarp, and it looks fucking awful. This is like Jar Jar Binks level bad. Why does every line that kid say sound so forced? Dr. Doolittle is still a reference in the future? Are we still remaking that in the future? Yeah, also, what is this monkey doing on this ship? Is it part of the alien ship with the spiders? Where did this monkey come from? Oh, it's such a bad effect. Here you can tell it's practical when they're showing the back of the head and the fingers. It does not blend well with the CGI one. Points for trying, I guess, but I hate its eyes too. Oh no, we're finally getting them. We're finally getting our space bugs. I don't like the sound of that sound. Oh my god. This fucking writer has an Academy Award. I want you all to think about that. Not for this movie, obviously. No, no. Watch out, Lost in Space. There's spiders there. And they look pretty bad too. I think this is a little pre Iron Man. This would have been a fun video game. Let me pause and say that line because it's going to come up later. Mm-hmm. Wow, she really bullseyed that shot. But I thought she said those who can't think fight. Why is she so good with guns now? It seems a little hypocritical. Oh, here we go. Boom. It's actually a cool costume. Oh, also the spiders can shoot lasers out of their mouth. That's a thing that they can do. Maybe don't override that vacuum check. That seems really important. I remember when like Iron Man was coming out, a lot of people were photoshopping this suit to look like Iron Man. You think this was Matt LeBlanc in the suit, or did they just give it to another guy for the day? He's like, I gotta go do Friends. Can you cover my face for 10 minutes of the movie? I don't like that robot voice saying things like "mom." Mom says, "Try it now." As soon as he said "spider scratched me," you should probably take him to the goddamn med bay. Not that it would help because he destroyed everything. He seemed really broken up about it. Still using CDs in 2058. Huh. Interesting. They can stop making the picnic jokes now. It's like the fifth one. Foreshadowing. Oh, and the spiders can fly in space now. That's that's a thing they can do, I guess. Don't ask how. You're gonna waste torpedoes on these? They're so tiny. Adamantium shell? Wait, is this? Are they fucking Wolverine? Yeah, they just took adamantium from fucking Marvel Comics. If they're made out of adamantium, that's some shitty adamantium. That's not a stronghold. It's you're an idiot. Cool explosion though. Maybe get further away from the goddamn ship before you blow it up. Yeah, idiot. Ugh, this Town West sucks so much. Now we're back to decent effects. Man, I'm yawning up a storm. Not because of the movie, just was up late. It's cool. It kind of reminds me of the scene in Star Trek Genesis when the dish separates from the rest of the ship and crashes. Maybe it looks a little bit better than Genesis. Hmm. What the fuck did that mean? Also, clean up your spider bite. You're a doctor. You should be like, oh wow, you should probably sanitate this. Sanitize. Did I say sanitate? Nah, whatever. They only have like one scene in this big room. Wait, no, that's not true. They redressed this set for another scene. I was about to say, I'm like, this is weird. They built this nice set and barely used it. Oh yeah, we never get to see the chariot. I think they mention it. The pod and the chariot were both from the original show. Imagine having to be William Hurt and try to act in a scene with Matt LeBlanc being serious. Like he's trying. It's just I don't think he has it in him. See, this is a role that like Chris Pratt would fucking nail. And the new Don West is great on the new show. He doesn't really have too many. I mean, he has a bunch of interactions with the dad, but they're never really conflicting too much. But they have a good chemistry together. But he's like really funny and does like one-liners. But he's still pretty believable. It helps that he's not quite a goody two shoes. You're a doctor. You should be more concerned about. Oh my god, that skeleton's horrifying. Why does Penny suddenly want an animal? Does she? I don't know. Oh, yeah, it says Blarp, so I guess its name is Blarp. Oh, the med bay's fixed, I guess. Maybe they had two of them. I don't know. I like that Penny's not really looking it in the eyes because she doesn't know where its eyes actually are. So it's looking at the creature's like forehead. Yeah, I guess there's two med bays. This is something the new show does way better. Smith manipulating everyone. Also, I have a hard time buying this Smith as a soldier. It's like I fought in the Millennium Wars. I don't know what that is. I kind of like that. I'm gonna use that line. Sarcasm is the recourse of a weak mind. Yeah, but Dr. Smith is kind of sarcastic. I get it, the pain, because Dr. Smith used to say, the pain, the pain. Home on Earth or home is Alpha Centauri? Or Alpha Prime, whatever they say it is in this one. Now we get to learn about constellations. Oh, Porky Pig. Who made this movie? Oh, right, Warner Brothers. Who owns the Looney Tunes characters? Oh, right, Warner Brothers. Which again worked. I used to love watching Looney Tunes growing up, so seeing this movie mention it. This is like right after Space Jam. So it's like, oh, I love Bugs Bunny. What an idiot. What a fucking idiot. He's making wow, that's literally what I said earlier. Maybe I was quoting the movie. I did watch this a few times before we did this. Mm. He tried. We've all been there. One day she'll recognize that he's the supreme gentleman. I like this this weird bedroom that they have on the ship. It's not what I really would have imagined. This looks like a hotel room. Foreshadowing. This is the first time they've had like a little bit of life in the whole movie. Oh, look how warped that is. This is weird. This is a callback to the Waltons. Good night, John Boy. I feel like Dr. Smith should have said that line. That's cute. He moves the water away from her. That's funny. Oh my god, what is she wearing? Was she wearing that earlier? Are those planets? What are those weird balls all over her shirt? Did he say Darways? Oh my god, he's so whiny. They're not in the world anymore. They're on another world. They're lost in space, so that line means nothing. Nice try. He brought his awards with him. How fucking vain. He's coming back, Will. He promises. And he'll definitely come back. That's not setting up for a twist. No. She's into him. They wanted this to look like Stargate or something, and it does not look like Stargate. But that was a weird thing to say. Not sure if that's a callback to the show, but I love you, white wife. Come here, squirt. Oh, it mimics now. It's like a parrot. I would walk back out just to make sure it worked. Be like, oh, we can leave once we're in. All right, good. That's creepy. Are they friends? They didn't have any scenes together before he attacked them. I didn't even know if this family ever even saw the robot beforehand. Hey, look at that. It's a scene that passed the Bechdel test. Bunch of women in a scene talking about something that doesn't involve a man. Who would have thunk? It's the future. You're at the Jupiter. It literally just said it's the Jupiter 2. I don't like the laser effects in this movie. That's kind of that's a nice blend of the old and new robot. Could have done without the big arm. Apparently, the robot only ever said that in like one season 3 episode. He would say like danger, danger, but he only ever said danger, Will Robinson, danger once. And it's become like this huge catchphrase for the show. Once you realize it was Dr. Smith doing the sound, just be like, oh, I'll ignore it. I'll tell my mom, or I'll tell Dom West when he comes back. See, now this is where they're trying to like usher in the relationship between Dr. Smith and Will Robinson, which is a huge part of the old TV show. If anything, the show ended up focusing less on the family and just on those two and the robot, which was great for the actors who played them, but was disappointing to a lot of the fans. Well, I guess no. I guess around the time that might have been what people liked about the show. But storylines with the other family members started to not be as interesting, I guess. That's why the new show does a good job of balancing everyone out. Man, this kid is such a bad actor. People give Jake Lloyd a bunch of shit for being young Darth Vader. This kid's not much better. This is good though, the manipulating. Making them think it was their idea. He has a little bit of his professional Stan's character there. Or no, kind of reminded me of his Fifth Element character, the way he said that. So I guess I'll explain this. A whole like storyline involving Blarp got cut out of the movie. Oh shit. Um, Eventually the girls were gonna go into the time thing, and I think they end up in a different time period. I'm not sure what happens there. Ugh, sorry. And they find this gigantic ape-like creature, which was a cool practical effect. And then you find out that it is the older Blarp. And they're like, "Oh shit! So this is what happened to Blarp in the future." because it grew up on its own, obviously, and it grew to adult size. And I guess that kind of explains what the alien, because I guess the alien ship might have been Blarp's uh, species. Maybe they do have some kind of intelligence. They probably brought the spiders aboard or something. It would have made it a little bit more because there's no way the spiders are flying the ship. Although that's also a possibility after we see what they do with Doctor Smith. Um, yeah, so there was this whole thing where they're like, dealing with this giant blarp, and the movie ends. I think you'll see it at the end of the movie where they're actually looking at the giant blarp, but they cut it out of the film. It would be cool to see the scenes put back in, but they never finished the effects for blarp. Like if you look at them on the DVD or the YouTube, you'll see blarp is like a 2D animatic. But I always liked the scenes, and I only saw them recently because I didn't have the DVD for this. Because I had a book of the movie. I had like this, like a children's book of the movie, like a picture book that just told the plot of the movie. And I remember there were scenes with like about this giant blarp, and I'm like, what the hell? That wasn't in the movie at all. I like this actor, the guy playing the older Will. I'm gonna look him up. He's been in a bunch of shit. Jared Harris, that's who it is. Yeah, he's in the new Sherlock Holmes movies. Benjamin Button. What do I know him from? He was one of the bad guys in Fringe. There's something that he's in that I remember him from the most, though. Yeah, I guess it's Resident Evil Apocalypse. He was great in Resident Evil Apocalypse. That's what Smith is concerned about. Man, why does all the dialogue seem forced in this? Then you get Jared Harris kind of looks like he could be related to William Hurt, so it's not bad casting. Ah, oh, so terrible. Yeah, what about that, Will? It's because he's here right now. Will, send him home. Give him the power thing. He'll go home, and this future will be erased, and you'll never have to deal with that. You're just making things worse. This is a cool environment they build. I don't think they do enough with it, though. Stop saying you're a monster. Like, the kid's supposed to be trusting you. It's getting a little handsy there, Dr. Smith. Eh. What's Dr. Smith's plan here? He should be trying to help them. He has nowhere to go. So, never fear, Smith is here, is one of his lines from the old show. Clever callback. And he wanted to take the ship for himself, but now he wants the time machine. He's an idiot. Say goodbye to your past. Jesus, man. This dialogue's so awful. Oh, this is a clever twist here. Another Never Fear Smith is here. This is kind of a cool effect. Obviously the face is CGI and it's not the best, but they do a cool job of covering up the rest of his body in this cloak, which is a live action effect. I think it's a nice blend. And of course they end up fucking it. But I always thought he looked really cool with this cloak. Yeah, because he kind of looks like a Muppet. Like a cool, like, Jim Henson effect, with a digital face. Also, the spider sting turns you into a spider. Also, Smith, make sure you don't kill yourself. I never liked me anyway. Jesus Christ. So even Dr. Smith hates Dr. Smith. That's interesting. And they hide the face enough where it doesn't take you out of the movie too much when it's dark. It looks so cool. And I like that it's like from different suits sewn together. This is dumb. About friendship? I like the red glowing light. That's similar to the original robot. When he would talk, a little red light would flash. It's not a living thing, Will. Ah, so dumb. Oh, good. We're all best friends again. Will and the robot, who didn't really have a relationship outside of one scene, they're now best friends. Oh, here you can tell they're a little dirty because I think this was meant to be after the blarp scenes. This is weird. All the women are just on the ship doing nothing, really. So it would have been cool to see them have their own adventure, but I guess they wanted to cut down on the time. I don't get this at all with the torpedoes that she's about to do. Just leave Smith. Leave Smith. You know he's going to turn into a spider. Leave him. Anyway, this with the torpedo. I get what she's trying to do. But why? How did she program it to look like Daffy Duck? I don't get it. You could have just shot a torpedo. You would have knew what it was. I love how it takes Will like what 20 years to come up with this conclusion he's about to come up with. Duh. That's a line from The Last Jedi. Ha! What an idiot. By the way, this is 20 years, and Will's like, I don't know, 8 or 9. Man, this guy did not age well. Ah, looks so bad. Why? Why did they do that? Just keep him in the cloak. Why? Now, I guess the spider wants him. His spider DNA wants him to make spiders. Ah! Hmm. Another cliche bad guy line. It's so creepy. But like I said, the science fair project came up later. Ah, there we go. Why would they? Why would they just suddenly start eating their parent? I don't know. That's a little weird. Take all the time you want to die. Oh God, no, Spider Smith. Your race of spiders. By the way, look, the where they're gonna enter if they were to go through the portal is like above the city. So if they even go back in time, we'll just plummet. And Dr. Smith knocked him down there. What if he had missed and went right through the middle, and that would have been the end? Because it's only one person, one trip. So everyone made up but John. And they got a new robot. Wait, where'd they get the robot body? They left the robot body on the ship. The ship that blew up. Where did they get the robot body in the tracks? I kind of like this, the planet breaking apart. Oh man, so bittersweet that they're gonna end up surviving, but without their father, and the father will end up in a different timeline with the son finally getting the time that they needed. And even though it's not the ending they want, at least they'll all be alive and happy. It's a beautiful ending to the film. It really makes you think. Not everything always works out, but you got to make the best of the situation you're handed. And there's a little bit of doubt in their eyes, but the hope that they will survive past this. You could see it glimmering within them. And John knows that he's gonna lose one son, but he has another, and he'll make up for that lost time for both sons, really. This the odds look like it's against them, but Don's such a great pilot. He'll figure it out last minute. He'll come up with a beautiful maneuver, and the music will swell, and it'll be amazing. And oh my god, they all died! Oh, they're fucking dead, and the dad's reaction is not that good. He does not seem that fazed by it. Not even like a no. How is he able to see clips from earlier in the movie? Oh, they're gonna. He's gonna go back to right before they took off. Now, what if he missed and hit the edge and got shattered? And now he's stuck in his own timeline, going to die a slow, painful death. Make sure, Dr. Smith, you sanitize that wound. He's gonna turn into a giant spider. Oh, not so much the daughters, but definitely you, son. Tom West has got a point. No more hugging and whatnot. Get the fuck out of there. This part's cool. What what is up with William Hurt's acting there? He's suddenly real into the we could use the planet's gravity. He actually has a personality in the scene. What the fuck? This must have been a good day. That would have been the rock to kill him. This reminds me of the Back to the Future ride. There's a part where you go through like the Earth's crust or something. I think there's a dinosaur in it. Rest in peace, Back to the Future ride. So I guess this planet doesn't have a molten core. Because that probably would have stopped them. Luckily, it's a rock solid core. Great effect, though. This is one of the best effects in the whole goddamn movie. This whole planet breaking apart scene. Like, that looks great. The waterfall and everything. I wish more of the movie looked like this. They saved their best effect for the end. No, you don't have to say anything. Is there going to be a Praxis shockwave? Oh, no Praxis shockwave. Sadly. Nah. Come on, Roller Girl. Give him something more than that. Yeah, maybe don't make out in front of your family. That's kind of weird. What? Cold Fit? Did I miss something? Is that a reference to something? Nah. Yeah, here's where they would have looked over and it would have been the giant blarp. But they, see, she's looking at it right now. Yeah, Smith is a spider. Kill him right now. It's not cool. Oh my god. I forgot about this. The seizure inducing credit sequence. Where it's like a hip and cool remake of the original music. This reminds me of like when Aerosmith did the Spider-Man theme from the old cartoon. Oh, and it's all of fucking Don West one-liners. It's pretty cool. Yeah, this is a fun little look back at a weird period of time in movies. Has not aged well. It's got some cool stuff in it, though. Some decent looking effects. The time travel plot is kind of interesting. It just suffers from the. I think the best acting in the movie is probably the girls. Yeah, the girls are the best actors in the movie. And the robot. But yeah, really interesting. The movie was a small hit, not enough to justify a sequel. It was a little too pricey, but it made a profit. And it's fun when you're a kid, or at least it was fun when I was a kid watching it. But yeah, compared to, it's not as charming as the original show, and it's nowhere near as good as the new show, so it's kind of this awkward spot in the middle. But yeah, this was the Hack the Movie's commentary track for Lost in Space. I don't really have any more to say, so I guess enjoy this horrible post credit sequence or this title sequence. Oh man, it's so, oh god, it's giving me a headache just looking at it. This is terrible. Oh yeah, Jim Henson's Creature Shop, which is funny because the creature Jim Henson, like the best creature they build, is not in the movie. They must have been real proud of that giant ape monster thing, and then to find out it was just the CGI one must have been a real bummer for them. It just ended. The song ended with the girl saying this mission sucks. It's like saying this movie sucks. Jesus Christ. All right, thanks for listening, guys. If you're streaming this, let me know how it ran. Please think about buying it. I know you can watch this on YouTube or free on Bandcamp, but every little penny counts. I can't stress that enough. And yeah, thank you. Oh, and this is early on Patreon. Make sure to become a Patreon subscriber. Please, I need to move out. I need to get my own place. I need a little extra cash. Come on, guys. I don't want to get a second job. All right, thank you. Bye.